Straight ahead on CCX News, learning about active shooter situations.
Unfortunately, this is a new drill that we have to have in the world.
What a military veteran wants others to know. Plus, a development in the Osseo school superintendent search. The list of finalists is now down to 2. We'll hear from the remaining candidates. And later, a heart attack gives a Maple Grove man new perspective on life. The new dietary program that has helped him recover. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Nobody really knows how they would react if they were caught in an active shooter situation.
But at Bill's Gun Shop and Range in Robbinsdale, they now have classes that teach people how to try and survive a very scary scenario. We get more from Eric Nelson.
Need help with it? At Bill's Gun Shop and Range this weekend,
active shooters usually go in 2 different groups.
They have seminars that give people tips on what to do if they are caught in the crossfire of an active shooter.
The more prepared you are, the better you are if you have to react to that situation.
These courses are a byproduct of mass shootings, which happen almost every day in the U.S. A mass shooting is defined as 4 or more gun victims in a single incident.
In a 30-minute flash, you're going to learn a lot of things that are just really common sense that you just haven't even thought of.
Unfortunately, this is a new drill that we have to have in the world.
Aaron Applewick is an Air Force vet with a SWAT background. He wants to convey his knowledge to people so they can react if a worst-case scenario occurs.
I want the general populace to have that same reaction, where if something happens, they already know where the exits are. They already know where they could get out, how they can make themselves safe, and how they could avoid that situation once it starts.
So the mindset is what we hope you leave with. Just a mindset of, how do I save myself and my family from whatever situation I get involved in?
One key to surviving an active shooter situation is to know your surroundings and be prepared if the unthinkable happens.
It's having this awareness in your mindset when you go to a theater or a church or a mall, knowing where you're going to go, where you're going to meet up with your family. If you split up, where are you going to come back to?
Applewick's strategy is simple: run, hide, fight.
Hide if that's your best option. If you can run, you run and you escape. If you can't, and all you can do is fight, I want you to fight so that you have a chance.
Applewick also doesn't want anyone to try and play hero if they are in the middle of a random attack.
If you are concealed carrying, you don't want to unconceal your firearm and get mistaken for that shooter.
In Robbinsdale, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
There will be active shooter classes twice on Saturday and Sunday at Bill's Gun Shop and Range. This week, the public got a closer look at the candidates to lead the 5th largest school district in Minnesota.
The candidate pool is now down to 2 in the Osseo district, and reporter Shannon Slatton gives us a look at who they are. Shannon?
One of the finalists withdrew from consideration today, and that was Mark Schaefer, who was from Boulder, Colorado. The 3 finalists sat down for lengthy interviews on Monday, and they are available to the public. Both remaining candidates, James Harris and Eric Pruitt, address strategies for bridging the achievement gap, which is a challenge in the Osseo School District. Pruitt, a superintendent from Houston, Texas, comes from a career in education. He says it's important to use data and teacher support to better meet the needs of students.
When we address the achievement gap, it's often about the opportunities that we aren't providing students. And so with this additional funding, could possibly be applied to assist with decreasing, eliminating the achievement gap.
The other candidate, James Harris, is superintendent of schools in Douglasville, Pennsylvania. He has a business background and believes in long-term strategies to help students and this district.
Parents only want their children to have an opportunity. And for me, bringing in the right staffing and making sure that teachers and the custodians, the food people, the bus drivers are all on the same page with not having prejudices towards the kids and thinking they all can achieve.
The next round of interviews will be on April 10th. A decision is expected to be made by the end of the month. A reminder, too, that all the interviews are open to the public and they will be live streamed and archived on the district website. Mike?
All right, Shannon, thank you. Well, it may be harder for local cities to find seasonal workers this year.
For the first time, Brooklyn Park is advertising its summer positions. You'll see it on a message board near North Hennepin Community College. The hiring message is also on the city's trucks, the city's website, and on the League of Minnesota Cities website. The jobs include shoveling asphalt and filling cracks in streets, and some concrete work in the street and utilities departments.
It seems to be, with the economy being great, a lot of these kids, typically they'll come back for 3 or 4 years. What we're seeing now is they're only here for maybe 1, 2 at the most, and they're getting an internship, so they're not coming back for the 3rd and 4th year.
Close to half of full-time hires in the street department started out as seasonal workers. The starting pay the first year is $12.39 an hour. The work week consists of 4 10-hour days. Seasonal workers can work 6 months if they want, starting this month.
A key piece of property in Brooklyn Center has been vacant for about 13 years, but now redevelopment may finally happen. The land at 57th and Logan was once home to the Northbrook Shopping Center and later the Hmong American Shopping Center. Brooklyn Center got the land through eminent domain, and the shopping center was torn down. Now, a developer is planning to build a 4-story indoor storage facility on part of the land. City officials are happy to see the property redeveloped since it's been on the market for so long. Underground pollution is one reason for the delay. The city hopes to find another developer for the 5 acres the city will still own.
Well, last year at this time, golfers were warming up and some golf courses were already open, but not this year.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot we can do. The course is full of snow and it's extremely cold out, so we're just waiting for the weather to break.
Well, one look at Edinburgh, USA will tell you playing golf is still weeks away. Golf pro Don Barry says in 2013 they had to wait until April 27th to open up. He says this year it could be close to that. Edinburgh has opened in March in 5 of the last 10 years, but Barry says that was unusual.
The first 20 years of the golf course, we never once opened in March. So I think people start thinking, oh, we'll be playing by March, 25th or something. And, in Minnesota, it's just not realistic to think that every year.
Barry says the good news is the snow is insulating the course from the unseasonable cold that can do damage to the fairways and greens. And it should be in good shape when it does open. Still ahead, a new meals program that gave a Maple Grove man a new lease on life.
Then Osseo boxer Caleb Truax makes final preparations for his championship title bout Saturday night in Las Vegas.
But first, another chance for snow, this time on Sunday. We'll be right back. A heart attack, without question, is a life-altering event.
And a Maple Grove man learned that the hard way last year, but as Delane Cleveland explains, a free pilot program is teaching him how to make healthier dietary choices.
For the past 4 months, Alex Black has made frequent visits to the fitness center at Methodist Hospital in St. Louis Park.
It's kind of endurance training for your heart. It's weight lifting to build your muscles up.
Alex is part of the cardiac rehabilitation program at Park Nicholet's Heart and Vascular Center. It's a result of having a heart attack last November at the age of 45.
There's not only the workout sessions, you have 8 classroom sessions as well, where you sit in there and you learn, what causes heart attacks, what factors are your biggest risks for heart attacks.
Yet the program involves more than exercise and education. He also gets 12 heart-healthy meals each week.
They give you these meals that are prepackaged. Some of them are frozen, some of them are fresh food.
He's referring to a pilot program called Feeding Hearts. The Park Nicholet Foundation partnered with the nonprofit organization Open Arms to provide a bag of fresh and frozen meals for people like Alex for about 12 weeks.
People get a week's worth of food delivered at one time.
Park Nicholet cardiologist Andrew Smith helped make the Feeding Hearts program a reality, mainly because education itself doesn't always lead to changes.
So if we say go do these things, people will go home and their fridge and their pantries are still full of the same things, and it just becomes easy to fall back into the same traps. But if we actually gave them the food, we watched as some of these people absorbed those things into their lifestyle.
Best of all, the meals are free thanks to the Park Nicholet Foundation. But most importantly, The food helps put Alex on track for sustained success.
It's helped me understand portion size and the fact that I can eat stuff that tastes good and it's healthy.
In St. Louis Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The program began late last year and is offered to a select group of patients enrolled in Park Nicolet's cardiac rehab program. And so far, Alex has lost 50 pounds. Good for him, huh?
Yeah.
Still ahead, some pretty impressive works of art now on display at North Hennepin Community College.
But first, it's part 2 of Jay Wilcox's interview with Plymouth natives and gold medalists Danny Cameronisi and Kelly Panik. That's coming up next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. It's another big fight in the career of Osseo's Caleb Truax on Saturday, perhaps his biggest to date. Truax is defending his super middleweight title in Las Vegas. Truax worked out this week at the Mayweather Boxing Club in Vegas. The Osseo native faces James DeGale of England in a rematch. Truax beat DeGale in December to win the super middleweight title, and this will be his first defense. You can watch that fight on Showtime Saturday night at 9 o'clock. The U.S. Olympic women's hockey team winning the gold medal in the Winter Games meant a lot of excitement for the friends and family of 2 players from Plymouth. CCX Sports' Jay Wilcox recently talked with Kelly Panik and Danny Cameronisi. Here's part 2 of our interview.
Danny, you had a great tournament. Kelly, you assist on the goal that sends it to overtime. Talk about your own personal experiences as players, you know, within the tournament. Were you happy with the way things went for yourselves too?
Yeah. I was ecstatic with Kelly's pass up to Monique. Yeah, she had a great tournament, and I think as a team we all had a great tournament, and that kind of shows how we ended up at our ultimate goal and winning the gold medal. If everyone weren't playing at their top level, then that likely wouldn't have been the outcome that we got. So it was a really great experience, something we've been looking forward to our whole lives, and for it to actually flourish and come to life and our dreams finally came true, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, she almost got a hat trick against Nora, who I mean is arguably one of the best goalies in the world, and she hates getting scored on by Gophers, so that was really fun to watch. I was shooting out in the third, but like she said, I think our whole team, I mean, just did so well and was so balanced. We had scoring from Gigi, who is the oldest player on the team and had a great tournament, so yeah, it was just fun to see everyone succeed and be put in, you know, the right positions, and it was really, honestly, just so fun to be a part of that team.
Hockey is obviously a big focus of the Olympics, but also a lot of great performances by other U.S. athletes. Did you get a chance to experience that much?
A few, yeah, a little bit. I mean, our tournament goes the whole time, so it's kind of on an off day here or there, but my personal favorite was we went to the gold medal curling match for the men, and that was so fun because we had seen those guys, and they're so chill just around the village, and they were really big fans of our team and were really friendly, so it was really fun to be able to cheer them on, and I mean, being in that arena for that sports moment was so cool.
Yeah, a number of us got to go to different ones. Like she said, we all went to the gold medal curling match, and that was so awesome. Went to figure skating and speed skating, and just honestly having the Olympics on the television the entire time was so cool, seeing such high-level athletes compete in their sports, and we're sitting there. These people are doing death-defying things. Like, it is incredible. We don't really know what's going on in some of the sports, but the things that people do are so cool.
Has fame been hard to adjust to a little bit?
Fame might be a little much.
No, I was actually out with Hannah and Lee for St. Patrick's Day, and people were like coming up to us and were like, "You guys were Olympians, right?" I'm like, "How do you guys actually know who we are?" That part's been a little weird for me. And I even went to shopping with my mom, and someone came up to us, and I think it was Athleta, and were like, "There's a gold medalist in this store." I'm like, "How do you people know who I am?" So that part's been weird, but really cool.
What's coming next hockey-wise? I think Kelly's answer might be a little easier more straightforward, but what's coming up for you?
Yeah, I go back to the Gophers. I have one more year of school, one more year playing with them, so I'm really excited just to see what the season looks like, how it turns out, and get back with that team.
Danny, you're done with the Gophers, but what's next for you?
Unfortunately done with the Gophers. I wish I had an opportunity to go back there, but I think for a lot of us, we're taking a little time off, vacationing, because we've been working really hard for the past last 4 years and our entire lives. But yeah, so taking a little break, and then I'll probably get back to training, and I'll be really fortunate if I had a chance to be on the team again.
And thanks to Danny and Kelly for spending some time with us here. You can see all of their 11-minute sit-down interview with Jay Wilcox on our YouTube channel at ccxmedia.org. Alex and Mike, back to you.
Great to hear. Up next, a year's worth of creativity.
North Hennepin students host their year-end art show when we come back. Students at North Hennepin Community College are showing off their artistic side.
And Neil Persley gives us a sneak peek in this weekend showcase.
Tucked in the North Hennepin Community College's Fine Arts Center building is the Joseph Gazulu Fine Arts Gallery, and on display there is some work from the students that is very impressive.
It celebrates the end of the year, and it is the culmination of our teaching and the students' efforts. We have photography, which I teach. We also have digital video. We also have painting, of course, drawing, which is the foundation course. We have textiles.
I painted these things, and this is I have a little daughter, 8 years old, her real hair.
Although a native of Bangladesh, Roshan is fascinated with Native American culture.
When I got nominated, I was really, really very happy.
Lee said she's a business major and just does photography as a stress-relieving hobby, but the reason why she loves photography is heartfelt.
I wanna keep the moment when I feel something is beautiful and it's great at that moment, and I take the picture and I hold it for myself.
All of the pieces that you'll see have already made a preliminary cut just to be displayed in the show.
We have two-dimensional design, three-dimensional design. We have mixed media. We also have ceramics, graphic design, computer art, and illustration.
There's no doubt that if you take a few minutes to wander about, you'll find several things that will pique your interest, and you'll be viewing the work of the graphic designers and artists entering the workplace in the very near future. For Weekend Showcase from the North Hennepin Community College Fine Arts Building, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The student art exhibition is on display now through April 26th. Admission is free, and you got a sample there, but it's always impressive to see the students' work.
It's very good. You have to remind yourself that's students.
That's students, exactly.
It looks
young
like
adults
professional
there.
stuff, and it's always amazing to me of people that can do that.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you back here again Monday, starting at 4.